Hey there, welcome to Blushing Phoenix. My name is April. I'm the founder of Blushing Phoenix, and I overcame erythrophobia, which is the fear of turning red, by 6 years of hard work and discomfort and exploration, which ultimately led me to transformative action through regulating my nervous system. And I know that that's kind of like hype, like everybody's regulating their nervous system and everybody's teaching you how to regulate your nervous system. But the thing is, you have the power to do that. And it really just comes by slowing down, becoming aware, listening to what your body is saying to you. And today I want to talk to you about the story that you're telling yourself, the negative self-critical part of you that is reinforcing the blush and keeping you stuck. So one thing that I realized when I was going through my own healing journey from erythrophobia was I had a negative experience, which was I started to flush in front of an authoritative person. And he was my boss at the time, and he pointed it out. I was in the beginning of climbing my corporate career ladder, and I just immediately associated his judgment and his feedback about me flushing with him thinking that I was not going to be capable of doing more in my career, and that if other people knew that I flushed, that it would hinder my progress in my career and in that growth ladder that I wanted to climb. What I realized is I didn't lose my role. I didn't lose my positioning. If anything, I gained more positioning after that. But I don't know why I was so afraid of the fact that I thought it would cause me to lose my career. What I realized is he didn't stunt my growth because I flushed or blushed. It was the story that I started telling myself based off of what I perceived as negativity, because in my world, if you make fun of me or you call me out about something that wasn't perfect, it was associated with I'm wrong, something's wrong with me. And it was the narrative that I started to tell myself without even knowing that I was doing that. So because I was judging myself and being so critical about everything going on within me, I would project that to the outside world. I would project that to friends. I would project that to family. I would project that to authoritative people, bosses, coworkers. I remember in that role specifically, I had earned a promotion and I was in front of my team for the first time, leading my team. And I just remember feeling like I was so inadequate, sitting at the head of the table, talking to this team of incredible people and feeling like I was inadequate. They did not think I was inadequate. I thought I was inadequate. And it would reinforce that blush. No one ever said a word to me about flushing or blushing on that team besides my boss. And no one ever said anything. No one was ever like, are you okay? Hey, are you sure you can handle running this team? No one ever thought that. But I was silently suffering internally by the narrative that I had set on myself. And then fast forward, I moved into another company, another role, advanced in my career there. A lot of you were there for that journey. I made it into a chief officer role. I was featured in Fortune magazine. I was like all sorts of accolades that I could add to my resume and to my oh, look at me. And I still was projecting this story of myself onto other people and then judging myself, filtering my own judgment of myself through them and back to me. I probably have told you guys this story before on the channel, but when I first started Blushing Phoenix, I would share videos of me flushing and I would say, I just talked to my boss. My boss is fantastic, but I just flush when I talk to him. It's just wired in me to do that. And then we started working at different places. He moved on, I moved on. And when I was talking about hemp and CBD, he was working for a company that had a really fantastic product. And I mentioned it a few times here on the channel and had some really great results. It was a cream that I was using and I really felt like it helped me out a lot. But I went to him and I pitched a proposal for Blushing Phoenix to see if we could come up with some products here. And through the discussion that I was having with him, he had no idea. I worked with him for almost 4 years and he had no idea that I flushed. Now, a lot of you know I wore high neck shirts and scarves and things like that. And my hair was super short back during the time that we worked together, but he was more interested in looking at my face and talking to me than he ever was in me turning red. So he was so blown away by me pitching this idea and sharing with him about Blushing Phoenix, because he was like, I never knew. Meanwhile, I was always having an internal panic attack, just so riled up, because he was like the ultimate authority figure. He was the president of the company at the time that I was working at. And we were like just so close, and he was my biggest cheerleader. And then he never once thought anything about me flushing, and if he even noticed it. So what I want to ask you to do is just really get into a mindset of spending some time with yourself. And whether that's just getting alone, you guys hear me talk about getting alone in my closet. It's like my place. It's just like, I don't know, it's got to do with ADHD and my sensitivities or whatever, but I'm just like able to be alone and think and feel like all of my expansive energy is like right there with me instead of going out into all of this other space. But to really get into a place, whether that's sitting outside, sitting in your closet, journaling on your lunch break, to understand your source of judgment. And where is that coming from? Is that coming from a voice? Is it your voice, or is it somebody else's voice from when you were a kid? Really explore where that critical judgment is coming from and why you have to be a certain way. Why do you have to look a certain way? Why can't you flush or blush red? Like, who told you can't do that? And spend time with the thoughts and the feelings and where you feel that in your body when you explore that. A lot of us don't stop long enough or sit down long enough to even ask ourselves questions of, what am I believing that's making me feel this way? Where did that come from? Who told me that? And how is this thought protecting me? Because a lot of times what you'll discover when you unravel all of that noise is that you are still living out of survival mechanisms that maybe served you at one point, but don't serve you anymore. And you can truly wish them well and thank them for protecting you, and then let them go. Or become so aware of them that you slowly start to let them go every time you recognize them. So I just ask you to sit down and really explore that, and then challenge the assumptions that you have made in your mind of thinking that everybody's staring at you, or everybody thinks you're weird, or people don't think you're capable. Like, people are so focused on their own worlds and their own insecurities that they're not thinking about you. And if they do question your redness, most often it's because they are concerned about you and think you're having an allergic reaction. But you could just explain to them, I have an overactive nervous system. I get red sometimes. It'll go away shortly. And help them understand, as opposed to collapsing in your energy and feeling like you've been judged so deeply to the point where you can't go on. So I really want to tell you that it is possible to heal. It's possible to overcome. So much of this starts with yourself. Like, stop putting all of this power into the outside world, because you will continue to walk around at their mercy. And really, when you just peel back all the layers, you realize it's not even them who is worried about it. It's you who is worried about it. And if you can consume yourself with that worry, you can set yourself free from that worry. You hold that power. So I hope this was helpful for you today. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video. But until then, just know that you are so much more than redness, and you better rise and thrive.